To watch in this series aren't hard to identify. For the Maple Leafs, Lanny McDonald closed with a rush in the second half to hit the 40-goal mark for the third straight season. Captain Darryl Sittler has been the Leafs' leading scorer each of the past 7 seasons. And when you talk of most valuable Leafs this year, 2 names come to mind. Boreas Salming, the anchor of the defense. And perhaps the Leafs' most vital performer has been goaltender Mike Pальматир. In his last 22 appearances, he sports an excellent 2.69 goals against average. The Atlanta Flames have a big line, which the Leafs must stop. The Flames' leading scorer this year, 5th overall in the NHL, was Bob McMillan, 108 points. Just 1 behind him was his centerman, Guy Schwinard, the only 50-goal scorer the Flames have ever had. And the 3rd member of the line, left winger Eric Vale, cashed in 35 goals this year. The Flames' goaltending is strong. They have the busiest netminder in the NHL. Daniel Bouchard played 64 games.
Dan Bouchard, there he is, all set to go now in this first game of this very short series. And we go to Mike Pальматир now as he gets set. He's been a key factor in the success of the Maple Leafs in the last stages of the regular schedule.
Gary, they've got the Southern flag going, the Rebel flag, and the game is going, too.
As the Leafs clear the puck back into territory shots, Bouchard stopped that.
It's come out hitting. Try to rough up the Flames. Here it is, Gary, in the corner. Let's see how it happens. Of course, you see Sittler taking a punch, and he's going to get the 2-minute penalty.
And Bouchard had to make the save. Šuinár back for it. Out of Flames. A long pass. Shoot! The blue line. So the Leafs kill off the penalty. He butted Malone the shot, and that was stopped by Salming. Puck is shot, knocked down, but out to center ice, a race for it. Bobby Lalonde going over the blue line. Takes the shot. Back to the blue line. Salming couldn't keep it in, and here's the break. Coming down the ice is Gould over the line. Takes his shot. Pальматир off the board. Salming trying to get to it. It's knocked out. A race for the puck again. Sittler covers the man. Pальматир came way out of the net. The puck is loose. Out of shot. Here's the shot.
Goal for Pальматир.
Tonight's Stanley Cup playoff game is coming to you from the Omni in Atlanta.
A slashing penalty at 4:09. A great save by Pальматир there. The loose puck. Clement fed it in front. Now watch this shot. And Ron Wilson, 14.
Meypl to Boreas Salming. Salming had it knocked off the stick. He goes to the board. The puck comes loose. Ivan Boldyrев trying to set it up. A pass through. And a shot. Coming up the center with a long shot, number 5. And that goes into the corner. It's Lalonde getting it back to the blue line. Getting set to shoot with 10. Right. Flips it out to Darryl Sittler. Williams trying to catch up. Sittler tried to go in, and he was stopped by Murdoch. Sittler couldn't keep it in. Quenneville goes to Mälöni. Mälöni takes his shot. That's stopped by Bouchard, and he puts his pad on it to cover up.
How important it is stopping this line from Atlanta Flames. See Hutchison there. He tried to spin around.
Fell down and a long pass up there. He tails the blue line. Going down with McMillan. Over the line. Lalonde catches up. Gets it back to him. Fails for the shot. Pальматир stops trying to get it out. McMillan and Murdoch keeping it in. It goes back to McMillan. McMillan then over to Murdoch. The shot. Not broken his stick. But he knocked it out with his glove. Pальматир back in after he tried to sneak out and get his hockey stick.
Like that. Pальматир thought he had a second or two, and he really did, but suddenly the Flames had control, and look at the 2 of them go after that puck and deflect it high. 25,000 goals.
Here's Atlanta with a shot. Pальматир snapped at the end. Pальматир to Boreas Salming. Salming shoots it along the board. Goes out over the blue line. The horn goes, and the first period is over. Bit of a melee down at the far end. After the whistle went.
Right at the end of the period, Bill, and you can see Matt.
Shot the puck down the ice. That's going to go over the red line. There's a race for it. Lanny McDonald and Marsh. came out in front. Lanny McDonald got to it first. Anderson shot. There's a quick pass for Lanny McDonald. It goes into the corner. Ed Key after him. He tried to stop Lanny McDonald. He got it back to Burrows. There's his shot. Retired. Made a nice save by grabbing that with his left hand.
Here's that shot again. Anderson cruising in there, but Bouchard has good control of that one.
Knocked off the puck. Lalonde was covered. The puck came out in front of the net. Sittler trying to get a shot. Oh, he hit the goal post. Jimmy Jones. And we had Bouchard and Russell both with their sticks up high.
Oh, you could tell this is coming. They've been going at each other with the sticks and the elbows. Now Russell is pummeling Bouchard on the head. But you could smell this one coming, Gary. They had a good 30 seconds or so where they just bumped and bruised each other. Of course, always a scrappy performer. This was the finish of it, actually, when the gloves went off. But they had about 3 meetings just prior to that.
All right, here we're going to see that battle. First in the corner, a good check there by Russell, taking Bouchard out of the play. And a little shot there in the... and they kept this on for the next few minutes.
By Mälöni. Here's McKechnie. He's got a break. He's going down the ice. Trying to go right in. He sees score. Walt McKechnie, the top left-hand corner.
The Leafs come off the bench to congratulate Walt McKechnie.
Man advantage. And here's just a race between Murdoch and McKechnie, high up in the glove side. Beautiful shot.
What a move it was getting McKechnie for the Leafs this year. He's had a tremendous season. Look at the race he puts on to output Murdoch, who sprawls too late. And it's
A score of 1-0. Up for Ternbull. A pass for Gardner. Gardner going into the corner. Trying to get it back. Lanny McDonald's there, and it's chopped, but Ternbull gets it. He and Ternbull a shot. Bouchard stops that. Lanny McDonald. Back to Ternbull. Back to Lanny McDonald. Into Paul Gardner. And he's
good control in that Atlanta zone.
Good play by Gardner here to get himself in front of the net, and only the good work of Bouchard kept that one out. You know, when the Leafs break out of their own zone in the power play and shoot it in, one thing that they have to do is...
He won the draw to Ternbull a shot. That's why. They put out in front again. It's a score!
McKechnie. That's his second in a row. McKechnie, and he set it up.
Boy, when you're hot, you're hot. Let's watch this one again. Now, it'll bounce right behind Mälöni. He gets possession of it. McKechnie is striding right in towards the net and just puts it home. See it again from another angle. Now watch Mälöni get a piece of it. McKechnie's going right in on the play. Nobody around him.
What a play. There's the roller. The play is called.
That'll be Quenneville. Another penalty. And again, we have a mix.
Score, Toronto 2, Atlanta nothing. This is Stanley Cup 79.
There's anybody here tonight.
Well, again, you know, we talked, Brian, how the defense of the Leafs get involved in the offense. And here he loses the puck, kicks it up to him, and ends up with a face-off in the Atlanta zone.
Here it comes back to the blue line. A shot. That's high. And back on the ice is Quenneville. Play was called. Salming and Darcy Rhoda.
A familiar scene. I remember one of those. Okay, here you're going to see Pальматир actually collide with Salming. He managed to get it back in the net. Now Murdoch is going to end up with a shot. Now look at the action in front of the net, and Pальматир, he works over Rhoda pretty good, trying to get him out of there.
Rutley taking his time getting onside. The puck in front. Here's Shellportable after he shoots the goal.
Off, slipped it in the corner. It's a 2-1 game, and now the Flames come off
by Pronovo.
He's such a slick hockey player, Pronovo. He didn't have much room there. 4 or 5 inches, he got it in along the ice, and the Flames finally get on the score sheet, and they're a very high-scoring team all year long.
Got the puck in. Bouchard. Back of the goal, right on the Pat Boutet stick. Here's right. Butler trying to chop it in front of the goal. Shoot! And Bouchard covers that. Play is called. Over the line, Bowler had the shot. That's knocked down. Bowler. Shot knocked down by Hutchinson. Out to Darryl Sittler. Lanny McDonald got trying to get away.
be standing here at the Omni. Shand and Tiger Williams now in front of the Leaf bench.
Well, there's Brown now.
Throwing.
Good left. Well, anytime you get a lot of body checks being thrown out there, Brian, sooner or later, you're going to have a fight or two, and it's exactly what happened.
Wants to get in. Little Bobby Lalonde gets in there. Number 6 of the Flames. Hьюstон is involved. Hutchison still throwing punches. They can't bring him down. There are 2 or 3 of them. Pальматир is furious, banging his stick on the ice. Now the Leafs come off. Ternbull comes out to help, and he starts punching. We could have something get out of hand here.
The Atlanta Flames had the extra man on the ice. I don't know where he came from, but Ternbull.
Gary, often wonder why they don't hurt themselves more in these fights. There aren't more broken bones in the hand. Look at Tiger.
Here we go.
Cliff Fletcher told me before the game, if the Leafs want to get physical, we'll
stand. Time to get
over.
everything sorted out, and you know, it could erupt again. So send the teams to the dressing room, get everybody a chance to gain their composure and think what they have to do in that next period.
And so the score, with 51 seconds remaining in the second period, it's Toronto Maple Leafs 2 and Atlanta 1. Wilson over to Alvin, back to Lanny McDonald. He dropped it back to Wilson. There's the shot. He fired it wide. In the match. And then number 2, Bill Russell. Russell to Boldyrев. Boldyrев at the blue line, up at center. To the Leaf line. Breaks right through. Going in and goal. And Pальматир's back there. Another one. And it's knocked down. Tie hockey game. Boldyrев in again. Drops it to Bill. His shot hit Salmon. Kept in by Šuinár. Over to Bill. Bill gets it over on the side. Right out in front. Pальматир got a piece of it.
Saves by Pальматир. Just marvelous saves a couple of moments ago, Gary.
That's just incredible how he's playing. Look at that. That's...
Again, it's broken up. John Pronovo comes back. Here's the shot, and that's fired wide. It came out in front. Pальматир's got it and holds on.
Concentration involved out there. Make sure you do your job.
Dave Burrows, number 26. He's covered by Bill Clement, has centered it. Pальматир's not that. Hit by Mэлони. Mэлоni and MacKechnie. Mэлоni trying to get the puck out. He couldn't. Here's Atlanta trying to get it in front. There's a backhand, and Pальматир stopped that. Over for Bill. Bill over the line. Eric Bill trying to get set. Passed it back. Here comes the shot. Pальматир stopped that. Another shot. That's knocked down, and Glorious now McDonald. Ahead for John Anderson. Anderson over the line. Anderson takes his shot. Right in front. Gregor his shot was deflected wide. Kia keeps it in again. And Atlanta try to get things set up. Šuinár to pass. Right in front of shot. And Pальматир at center. Over the line. Got his shot.
They can protect that 1-goal lead, and so far the Leafs have done a tremendous job. And here you're going to see the open net there by Boldyrев, and a tripper by McDonald. The Leafs would have been called for icing, and he gets down there, and now Gardner is going to go off for a tripping penalty.
McMillan was bowled over, and now they're into it again in front of Pальматир. McMillan had a great scoring chance.
What an opportunity for the Flames. They had the Leafs out of position. And a good pass here, and
off the skates.
McMillan just couldn't control it because he was all alone.
And there he went for a fly.
Backhand. Glorious Salming had it go back to the net. Boldyrев over to John Pronovo. Back to Šuinár. Here comes the shot. And that was wide of the net. Right out in front again. And there's going to be a penalty here. Play is called. Atlanta.
Palmatier is hurt with 58 seconds to play. The Flames have drawn a penalty.
I think Palmatier may have caught a puck just above the pad there. He went down.
Atlanta penalty, number 20, Bob Murdoch.
It'll be a shot from the point.
Murdoch credit score tripping at 19.
There it is. Right there.
Yeah, and then the penalty to Murdoch.
And now Atlanta coming with Bouchard coming out of the net. A pass over the line for John Pronovo. Pronovo is bumped. 18 seconds left in the penalty. Puck is cleared down the ice. Is it going? It's going right of the net. And Mälöni out there. From the face-off, Mälöni clears the puck, but not out. 10 seconds. The puck right in front. That was shot wide. Bill Clement back to the net. 6 seconds. They bang at it again. McKechnie's got it. Shoots it down the ice. And there goes the horn. The game is over. And the Maple Leafs have defeated Atlanta 2-1, but 2 Atlanta players have been hurt.
The Leafs are jubilant. There's Pronovo, I believe it is, down on the ice. He scored the lone Atlanta goal. Quite a collision in front of Pallmatier. Well, we'll try and watch it here now as that puck came dangerously close to the corner of Pallmatier's net. He was down to his knees. He had to get back and get over to the other side in a hurry as Clement, I believe it was, came out from the side and might have panicked just a little bit or pressed a little too hard trying to slip it in that open corner.
In just a moment, our 3-star selection.